Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. And good afternoon from my end, wherever you're coming from. It's a good evening and good morning. I'm sure from various parts of the country and various parts of the world. You're all welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ajua Adubia Owusu, and I will be moderating today's webinar. We'll wait for just a few minutes, for about 2 to 3 minutes, to see that we'll get all of our colleagues join and some other people who have registered to also join us. And then we can move on with today's event. Thank you all for joining, and you're all welcome. Onyenyechi, I can see you. Thank you so much for joining. We're also glad to have you here. Onyenyechi just sent us a shout out in the comment section. We are glad to have you and all other people who have joined us live today. Okay. Okay, I believe that we have the numbers that we need now, and a lot of you have been able to join us despite your busy schedules. On behalf of SEVISEase, I welcome you all to today's webinar. We understand that many of you are coming from different parts of the world and different parts of the country, and we are glad, so much glad that you still made the time to join us today, and we welcome you once again. I'm going to introduce myself again because I'm pretty sure when I started, some of you were not here. My name is Ajua Adubia Owusu, and I will be moderating today's webinar with my team, Solomon and Ransford. Thank you all for joining us. I will be introducing our main speaker in due course. So, as we start today's session, I am also going to let you know why we are here and introduce our main speaker for today's presentation and also move on with the event. But I am pretty sure that most of you have joined us today because you have hopes of exploring your next academic step and you're wondering where else to go, how to go about it. And we are so glad that you chose to spend that time with us today. And I hope that we make this worthy of your time. Before we dive into the main presentation, I want to introduce our organization, SEVISEase, and why we are here today. We noticed that many of you are still unsure about program choices, required documents, visa steps, or even how to present your strength to universities. Some are also very concerned about the current immigration policies in the US now, and it's understandable. All of us had that challenge, and even how all of these could affect you. But I want to assure you that we've got you at SEVISEase. We hope to guide you to make this path very easy for you. And that is right from the planning stage to the enrollment stage, so that the journey becomes very easy for all of you. And today's session is part of that promise that we are making to you. We hope that we are going to give you clear information about studying in the United States, insights into what these institutions look out for in successful applicants, and we are starting that with the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. But before I introduce the speaker for today, I encourage you all to please take a moment to complete a short attendance form that will be posted in the chat pretty soon by my team members. In that chat box. If you see the link, please, we need your name, your email address, and your country just for attendance sake. It is not for any other reason. It is just for attendance sake, and it will not be shared with any third party. So you should be sure of that. And don't also forget to post your questions in the chat throughout the presentation. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Raiden Montero. He's International Recruitment Coordinator at the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. Raiden also serves as the advisor for the university's International Student Association. He is originally from Northern California. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in Japanese Studies and History from the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, and he graduated from there in 2022. I hope that's okay, Raiden, that I mentioned that. He also holds a Master of Arts in Asian Languages and Cultures from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And Raiden is here today to share very essential information with all of us today and to tell us why it's important for us to apply to the University of Wisconsin and what opportunities are available for us all. So thank you so much. And I want to reiterate this. Please don't forget to post your questions in the chat throughout the presentation and use the link that has been posted to share your name, email address, and country with us. Raiden, thank you so much for making the time to do this. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and thank you all of my colleagues at SEVISEase for this opportunity to speak to all of you that are watching. And thank you for taking times out of your busy schedule, especially with everything going on right now in education and the crunch season. We're really grateful to have you here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have a presentation planned for you. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Perfect. Alrighty. So as was mentioned before, not only am I an employee here at UW Oshkosh, or as we call colloquially UWO, but I'm also an alumni from UWO. So I have a lot of love and passion for this institution, and I can't wait to share all of this information with you as international students. At any point during this presentation, feel free to drop questions in the chat, and we're going to have a Q&A session roughly after about 40 minutes of me talking, and then feel free to ask any questions moving forward. But without further ado, I'll jump right in. So I want to make sure everybody knows where Wisconsin is. The United States is a massive country, and for states we can even us Americans can tend to get lost sometimes. So Wisconsin is right here, located in what we call the Midwest. We are adjacent to Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan. And we have close proximity to these states depending on which part of Wisconsin you are. Now, Oshkosh is what where we point out in central Wisconsin. It is on the water, and I will go ahead and explain in a little bit which bodies of water we're next to and how that affects campus and environment. But Oshkosh is right here, right in the center, and it makes traveling to not only different parts of Wisconsin, but different parts of the United States and the Midwest very easy. So, for example, we are an hour and a half drive from our capital city, Madison, and another hour and a half drive to our largest city, Milwaukee. So there's plenty of amazing and fun things to do in these cities. Additionally, we are also about a 2.5 hour drive or bus ride from Chicago. So if you want to see one of our major US cities, you have that opportunity. And here at UWO, we actually have bus lines that take you directly from campus to metropolitan Chicago for you to have fun. Additionally, if you want to go a little bit further and see another major US city, or two in this case, you can travel out west about 4.5 hours to the Twin Cities, so Minneapolis and St. Paul. There's plenty of fun things to do over there as well. I know for me and my family, that's one of our most favorite things to do. And we make the drive within the day. So we're close proximity to a lot of different places, and not a lot of locations offer that flexibility in traveling. So that's just to put geographical context on where Wisconsin and UWO lie in the United States. So moving on, I want to talk about Oshkosh, the city. So Oshkosh, depending on where you are from, can be a bigger city or it could be a smaller city. For example, as was mentioned, I'm from Northern California, which tends to be a lot more rural and farmland compared to Southern California, what a lot of people may be used to when they think about California. So I am not from the Los Angeles, San Francisco big city area. Instead, I'm from a very small farm town up in the Sutter Buttes. So when I moved to Oshkosh, after I got recruited to wrestle here on the wrestling team, I realized that Oshkosh was the biggest city that I had ever lived in. So Oshkosh roughly has a little bit over 60,000 people in our city, and there's a lot of really fun things to do. We have movie theaters, we have a fun bustling downtown, lots of great shopping, all of this stuff I did not have in my small country town. So this was a big change for me. My roommate of all 4 years, who actually works here on campus now as a university police officer, is from Southside Chicago. So this was quite the opposite change to him. This was like almost going to a village, but that's exactly what he was looking for. He wanted to have a place that was a little bit calmer and a little bit slower than a big bustling city like Chicago. And I was looking for something that was very much more upbeat, faster paced than a small country town. So Oshkosh is what I like to tell people is what you make of it, right? So it really depends on where you're coming from and what you're looking for in a city when you are just trying to figure out if Oshkosh is big or small. One thing that is really great about us, though, is that we have been ranked multiple times as the #1 place to live for new college graduates. Our most recent of this award is in 2024, and that's through Smart Asset, to cite my sources. And a lot of this is because Oshkosh is the heart of the Fox Valley region. The Fox Valley region is that central part of Wisconsin that I was showing you on the map. And we are the economic heart of the state of Wisconsin right now. We currently produce the largest amount of revenue for the state of Wisconsin, more than the 2 major cities in our state. And a lot of the industry that is being produced and booming in the Fox Valley, especially in Oshkosh, are far across the board and very diverse. That includes education, that includes healthcare, entrepreneurship, small local business, you name it, the Fox Valley in Oshkosh most likely has it. So this is a really great place for students who just graduated college to stay and to settle and live, because as industry rises, job opportunity rises. And here in Oshkosh, we are a lot more open and comfortable to hiring students right out of college than some major cities. So we're actually seeing that many students who came to Oshkosh from far away or from other parts of the state to study are staying here and settling here after graduating because they're finding jobs a lot faster. And students who maybe are from Oshkosh and moved away to go to college somewhere else are coming back. So I'm a living testament of this. You know, when I finished my master's degree in 22, I went over to Madison and got my bachelor's degree in 22 from Oshkosh. I went to Madison and got my master's in 24. And when I went into the world of job searching, UW Oshkosh was the first to reach out and offer me an interview and eventually a job. So I came running back to open arms. And I've been here ever since, making a career for myself and my family. So this is the experience of many people, and because so many recent college graduates are coming back or settling in Oshkosh after graduating, our youth population is actually growing. So our 20 to 30 age range is actually getting larger and larger, which means that there are a lot more developments in town, whether it's downtown, within the nature, or elsewhere in the community. A lot of really, really fun things for us to do in town. So we're a really busy, bustling town, and we would love to welcome people from different countries and diversify our culture here at UWO. So that's a little bit about Oshkosh, the city. This is what campus looks like. So this is an aerial view. As you can see, I made a comment earlier about the geography of Oshkosh. We are a big water city, so we are nestled right here next to the Fox River. It's a very beautiful river that goes right across the edge of campus. And back here, you can see Lake Winnebago, which is surrounded by Menominee Park. So for all of my nature lovers, you'll absolutely love it here. You can see all of the trees surrounding campus. We are very big on sustainability and promoting the environment and environmental health. We're a very green campus. And so, again, if you love nature, if you love animals, you'll see critters that are very friendly running around campus. They mind their own business as long as you mind your own business. And it makes a very beautiful campus view as you're going from class to class. A little bit about what we have to offer here on campus. So right over here, it's cut off a little bit, but that is the Student Rec and Wellness Center. That is a multi-million-dollar gym, basically. It is a massive gymnasium with a lot of machinery for you to work out with, free weights. There's an indoor basketball court as well as an indoor volleyball court. There's an indoor track as well. As you may know, it does get quite cold in the Midwest and it does snow. So you may, if you want to stay on top of your fitness, but you don't want to run out in the cold, then you don't have to worry about running in the cold because we have the indoor track. There's also studios in there for you to do yoga, boxing classes, our dance team practices there, a lot of great opportunities. And on top of that, the gym is a really great place for you to get a job as a student on campus. All international students have a right to work on campus without having to worry about activating CPT. So you can make some money while you're working, while you're studying here as well. On top of that, I want to point out this area right here that kind of stretches out. This is the residential area. So all of these are student dormitories. We expect and require all students who live outside of the 45-mile radius of UW Oshkosh's campus. So all international students would be required to live on campus for the first 2 years. By the time you are a junior, you are eligible to move off campus and to live into one of the local student apartments or housing complexes. That's exactly what I did when I was a student, and I had a really good experience. These this resident hall right here is what we call Horizon Village. Horizon Village is like a luxury style apartment dormitory complex where instead of being a traditional 2-person to a dorm room, you would be 4 people, and there's two living spaces with one central shared space in each unit. Each floor has a kitchen for you to cook in, and each of the dormitories have a kitchen for you to cook in as well. So you can start applying for that as soon as you are a sophomore. The reason why you can't apply for that as a freshman yet is because we want you to take that first year to learn about your boundaries, learn about what you like in a roommate, what you may not like in a roommate, make some friends so you know the people that you're going to be applying for these houses with. And then on top of that, as international students, we would want you, to adjust to American culture changes and really settle into Oshkosh before you make that next big step. All of our dormitories can be viewed on our housing website, uwoshkosh.edu, and then housing. and also on a YouTube page. So you're able to look up and see what the inside of these dormitories look like. Right here is Reeve Memorial Union. This is the heart of campus, so we have a lot of opportunities for you to get engaged with student organizations. We have food courts, we have the bookstore, including like merchandise stores. So like stuff like what I'm wearing right now, you can buy from there, as well as getting your textbooks for your courses. We also have a a corner convenience store. So as an international student, it may be difficult for you to gain access to a car, and you may not want to have to worry about asking a friend for a ride, or getting an Uber off campus to go grocery shopping. The corner convenience store is like a grocery store on campus, and it is very convenient to go to. So love the Reeve Memorial Union. It's a great place to be, especially when you want to be active on campus. Right here is Polk Library. So this is our central library. We have a couple different libraries on campus, but this is the main library. If a friend or a classmate comes up to you and says, "Hey, at 7 p.m. tonight, do you want to study in the library?" That's the library they're talking about. We're very accommodative with how your study style is. So first floor is for people who like to work in groups and to talk a little bit on the louder side and to maybe eat while studying. Second floor is if you want to have considerate study, you want to listen to your AirPods, but you're still having a snack or something while you're studying. And then the third floor is for the people that do not like any sound whatsoever. They need the absolute quiet for you to study. So we try to accommodate everybody that we can accommodate for on those floors. Down here, it's a little cut off, but those are all of our academic buildings. So depending on the department and the subject, that's gonna depend on what building you're gonna take your courses in. Okay. And the last thing I want to point out is the Student Success Center right here. This includes our tutoring center, our career and professional development center, as well as our writing center. And then upstairs, we have our advising office. So the people that you talk to help you pick your classes for the following semesters to stay on course with your degree. And then also the mental health counseling office as well. So those services are available to you. And my favorite thing about campus, both as a former student and as an employee now, is from this end of campus to this end of campus, or this end of campus to this end of campus. No matter which way you go, if you go in a straight line, campus is only a 10-minute walk from one end to the other. This is really, really great because there are some very large campuses out there that you would need to either get a bus shuttle system or get an Uber to get to class because it's on the opposite side of town. That is not an issue here at UW Oshkosh. We are very compact. I like to say we have the compactness of a smaller liberal arts college while also having the diversity and resources of a large university. And it will also be very helpful when it gets to be winter and you're going from one place to another. It does not take too long. So that is what I have to share about campus itself. I want to talk a little bit about the curriculum too. I want you to know what type of education you're going to get from us. First and foremost, you're going to learn directly from experts in your field. Your professor is going to be your professor. They are going to have a minimum of a master's degree, but most likely they will have a PhD. We do not have graduate assistants or teaching assistants teaching our courses because we make sure that our class numbers are not large to the point where we would need TAs or GAs to teach courses. That's because we try to keep it down to 25 average students per professor. We do that so you can have individualized attention, and so this helps your educational experience a lot more than being drowned out in a large class. Now, your freshman and sophomore general education courses like Intro to Math or Intro to English, stuff like that, those courses are going to be a little bit bigger, your intro science classes, because everybody has to take them for their degree. However, they're never going to fill up a major lecture pit, because we want to make sure that you still have the opportunity to be visible in your class and to have a relationship with your instructor. Additionally, if anybody who I'm speaking to right now, if you're stressed out that you don't know what major you want to go into or what major of study you may want to study, or you're not sure that the major of study that you're thinking about is for sure what you want to do, that's 100% okay. 60 to 70% of students coming into our university do not know what they want to do, and they will declare their major as undecided, in which we would put you on an exploratory path for you to figure out which path seems best for you. If you do know what you want to do going in, but you decide later on that you want to change your program, that is 100% okay. We have 250 plus programs academically for you to choose from. That includes majors, minors, pre-professional programs, and certificates. Specifically for international students, I want to point out that we have 21 STEM eligible OPT programs for you to major in. So that means that after you graduate, you'll have that 1 year of OPT that you can apply for, but then you would also be able to apply for 2 extra years on top of that. So we have 21 programs for you to choose from if that's something that you're interested in. And what makes our education at UWO different than everybody else is that our education is active and hands-on. We are very big on experiential learning. You will have plenty of internship opportunities. And for example, if you're going into College of Business at all, or the School of Business, any one of those majors, you have to have an internship before you graduate. That is a requirement. For health professionals, if you're going into nursing, which we're best known for, you definitely are going to be doing clinical hours and getting hands-on experience as a nurse before you even graduate, because we want you in whatever field that you end up going into to understand what you're getting yourself into, making sure that you enjoy the field. And then on top of that, we want to make sure that when you go into the job searching world after you graduate, you will have a leg up on everybody else, because you'll already have positions on your resume and experience that nobody else will have. So it's really good. This is a really great curriculum that we use to make you into a competitive job applicant after you graduate from our bachelor's programs. Our top programs that we're well known for are healthcare sciences, especially nursing, but we also have radiology, sonography, medical imaging technology. Our engineering technology programs, we have mechanical, environmental, and electrical. Computer science, so all of our STEM programs, but particularly computer science, integrated web management, and we have a new cybersecurity certificate that you can add on to that. And of course, our business, our School of Business, marketing, accounting, entrepreneurship, business administration. Those are our top programs. However, we have many other programs that are maybe not as in high demand that are also very well supported. So I want to talk also about your well-being on campus, because you will be living on campus, and we understand that class and homework only make up a certain part of your day. You still have 24 hours of your day to live on campus and to live your life. And I feel a lot for international students, because Wisconsin is so far away from California that I couldn't just drive home like many of the Wisconsin resident students. Whenever I got bored or whenever I wanted to see my family, I had to stay on campus. And so staying busy on campus is very important. We have over 120 student organizations or clubs for you to join. I highly recommend joining the International Student Association. It is a great opportunity for you to meet other international students on campus and to also bridge cultural gaps with the American students who are also a part of the club. Plus, we do free food events every month. So I'm the advisor of this club, as mentioned before, and I'm very passionate about the work that our students do. This year alone, we started off the year with we had Gambian culture nights, where our Gambian students made Gambian food. We also had recently Arabic culture night, where we teamed up with the Muslim Student Association and catered Arabic food and had cultural presentations. Last year we celebrated my ethnicity and my culture with the Thai Songkran New Year. So we do a lot of wonderful events like that. So I highly recommend you joining us. But we also have plenty other programs in clubs, depending on your major, your interests, your identity, etc. We also have sports on campus. We are an NCAA Division III sports university. We cannot, because we're Division III, we cannot provide athletic scholarships, but our academic scholarships usually suffice for the athletes. We also have club sports, so we have a men's traveling soccer team and a men's intramural soccer team, as well as women's NCAA soccer team, and we're about to get a women's flag football team as well. So highly recommend you checking out our sports. That is a very big part of Wisconsin culture, American culture in general, but very, very big in Wisconsin culture, especially here at Oshkosh. And then most importantly, we're very, very passionate about making sure you're taken care of with your mental health. We have our mental health counseling office in the Student Success Center, and all we require from you is to reach out. We cannot assume that you need help, but if you take the first big step into reaching out to us and asking for help, then we can help you moving forward and be there for you. So, I see there's a lot of questions in the chat. Love it. Really appreciate it. So yeah, keep asking those questions, everybody. So let's talk about the costs. I know that's a big deal for all students, but especially international students. So I'm going to focus mainly in on undergraduate right now, because that's my main field, but I can also discuss graduate. So tuition and fees, we're looking at roughly $17,000 US dollars a year, because you are an international student and you would be under the non-resident fee. Living expenses, room and board, so that also includes your meals. Okay, that's roughly about $10,000 US dollars a year. And then insurance, as international students, you would be required to get international student insurance. Books, supplies, and any extra costs could add up to $4,000. And let me make it very clear that these are estimated expenses. Everybody will have a little bit different of a cost, but these are generally what they add up to. So for an international student with no scholarships, you would be paying roughly about $31,000 US dollars a year. Now for the graduate program, it's a little bit higher because our tuition and fees are a little higher. You would be roughly paying about $34,500 US dollars a year. Now, with that being said, we have a wonderful international student scholarship opportunity for you called the Titan Global Scholarship. Okay, no separate application is needed. Your application itself will be your application for that, and you will be notified at point of admission with a scholarship letter within the day or two if you received the award or not. You can save up to $16,000 to $32,000 US dollars across all 4 years with this scholarships, and you could potentially get up to fully non-resident tuition remission. What that means is that basically you would be paying the same amount of tuition as a Wisconsin resident. You can get up to that high in that scholarships. So I'm going to break it down a little bit more. It's based on your GPA, and if you're a transfer student, also on your credits. So we're on a 3-tiered system, and basically the lowest tier will get you 50% non-resident tuition remission. So that would drop your tuition from $16,996 US dollars to $12,920 US dollars. all the way to we have another tier at 75%, and then we also have the biggest tier at at 100% non-resident tuition remission, which would bring you down to $8,844. So as you can see right here, I have the regular without any Titan Global Scholarships costs that you saw in this previous slide. And here you're seeing the ranges of what you could potentially get depending on your credentials with our TGS program. Okay, so you could save a lot of money, and you could pay as low as $22,820 estimated a year. So this is a great opportunity. It also helps strengthen your visa application when you get that letter. So again, it is a no separate application, and we would really welcome anybody and everybody to apply and see if you're able to get this award. Okay. All right, so let's talk about application. So our application is fully online, and I did see a question in there about application fee waivers. Guess what? You don't need one, because our application is actually free for everybody, including international students. So it is online, it is free. We do not require ACT scores, we do not require SAT scores, and we do not require an essay even. What we really look at are your transcripts. So it varies country by country. I'm the one that processes these applications, but basically I use an international guide that explains to me what is the equivalent of a high school diploma in your country, and then I would convert your GPA or your courses and your grades from your home country to an American GPA to see if you are admissible. We look for a 2.0 or higher for admission. And then we're also looking, I'm also using that GPA to see if you're eligible for any of our Titan Global Scholarships. Okay. We also, I just want to point out that the fall 2026 application is already open. The spring 2026 application is open, but it is closing soon on 1 December 2025. So I would recommend that if, with the short amount of time in between start dates, if you feel confident that you'll get a visa in time, I highly recommend applying for the spring if you're ready. But you are more than welcome to apply for fall, which starts in September 2026. And the deadline is 15 July 2026. That application, again, is already open. It's free. It's fully online, and we're happy to accept, look through any of your applications. Again, no SAT, no ACT, no essay. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about application timelines and requirements too. So with undergraduates for first year freshmen, so you're coming straight out of high school, you're first going to complete your free online application. Then we are going to need you to submit your unofficial high school transcripts. Unofficial is okay. Official is always welcome, because that's one less step you don't need to take. So unofficial means that you're sending me, basically, with the email I provide you, your high school transcripts directly. That's okay for admission, but we'll require an official transcript before you get to the United States, which means it needs to be sent directly from your secondary institution. Okay. So once you get those high school transcripts from us, we're also going to need, from most countries, proof of English proficiency scores. So on our international student website, if you just look up UW Oshkosh International Admissions, we list all of the allowed examinations for English proficiency and what scores you would need to take or to get in order to have that proof. You would have those scores sent to us at that same email, and then you would be okay for your English requirement. Now, I understand that many countries out there also speak predominantly English as an official language. If we list English as an official language, which is below, it's in a chart below the score chart for English proficiency scores on our international admissions website. If you see your country on that list, you do not need to submit an English proficiency score. So, some of the countries that are included in that are Nigeria, the Gambia, Ghana, um, Ireland, the UK, so the Philippines. If you are in a country that it is listed on our list, then you do not need to worry about the English proficiency score. If your country is not on that list, we would need that score, okay? You would then receive your admission decision from me. That could be within a week or so, depending on how fast you get your application materials to me. And you would also receive word about your scholarship. Then you would be prompted to complete the immigration document application form, which we require a passport, a signed financial verification form, which we would provide for you, and bank statements from either you or your sponsor showing that you have enough to fund a full year at UW Oshkosh. And then after you do that, you're going to get another email from us asking you to hold your spot. You would submit that form, and then you would receive your Form I-20 within about two weeks or so. Transfer students. So it could be it's very similar, but there's a little extra steps involved. So if you are currently going to an institution, or you do have experience going to a university or a post-secondary institution outside of the United States, we cannot take an unofficial transcript. We would need an official evaluation. So on our website for transfer international admissions, you'll be able to see all of the accepted third-party organizations that you can get your transcripts evaluated through, and then have them directly send it to us. And then we would use the GPA that they come across with as your transfer in GPA to then discuss whether or not you are admissible, and also if you can get the Titan Global scholarships. Additionally, if you are from a country the same that doesn't have English as an official language, we would still need those English proficiency scores. However, if you're transferring from another U.S. institution, as long as you studied there for a full year prior to admission to UW Oshkosh, then you would be exempt from the English proficiency requirement. Then after that, everything is all the same. You complete the immigration document application form, and then you submit your hold your spot form, and then you get your Form I-20. So all of this is on our international admissions website. So again, if you look up UW Oshkosh International Admissions, you'll find our website with all of the detailed steps on what you need to do. At any point too, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or to my any of us in the admissions office. You will be directed back to me if you don't reach out to me, and I am more than happy to walk you step by step through this process. Okay. I know we're running close on time, but I just want to point out the importance of the hold your spot form. So I know it's very exciting to receive admission to a university, especially UWO, and especially after you submit your immigration document application form. A lot of students will expect to receive their I-20 right away. We need you to hold your spot first. And what that is, it's a free form. It's completely online, takes no more than 15 minutes, and it just says, I, Raiden, am for sure going to be going to UW Oshkosh in fall of 2026. Okay, after you hold your spot, wait about 3 to 5 business days, and then you will be able to get another email from us called the Next Steps email. That Next Steps email will teach you how to activate your student email address. You'll be able to apply for housing. Our housing application costs $75 US. You'll be able to also apply for your or not apply, but pick a slot for your Titan Takeoff orientation. Now, you're going to be a part of international orientation, so you're already going to be into that. And what we would do is we would have you on campus come right before school starts that semester, and we would make sure that you have all of the necessary documents and resources prepared for you as you get ready to go to start your first semester. So we'll help you move into your dormitory, we'll help you get your Titan ID card, and we'll help you enroll in your classes as well. So you want to make sure to be in touch with us about orientation. That is a mandatory requirement. We need you to be here for international orientation. So I just want to give that importance about, how important holding your spot is, because, I would hate for a student to get so far to where you're prompted to hold your spot, but then you don't because you don't think you need to, and then you can't come for that semester that you've been admitted to. Okay. So that is all I have for all of you today. I tried to keep it within the 45 minutes. Again, I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much to my colleagues at SEVISEase, and I'm more than happy to spend these next 15 or so minutes reading through the Q&A for you guys. But thank you again very, very much.
Thank you very much, Raiden, for that incredibly informative presentation. We have a number of questions coming in through the chats, but before we jump into that, if you joined us late, please complete the attendance form. The support team is reposting the confirmation link in the chat now. So we need your name, your country, and your email address. It is not for any third-party purposes. It is just for us to be able to note attendance. So kindly fill that form for us. I will now move on to the questions. The very first one, I believe you already answered, but I'm going to take it again. Are there any application fee waivers? And this is coming from Black.
Yep. Thank you for the question. There are no application fee waivers at all.
Yes, and Samuel also want to know if you have a program for Masters in Business Accounting and Finance.
So I mainly work with undergraduate admissions, but what I can do is I'm going to send my colleagues from SEVISEase a link to our graduate school programs. So then everybody can have a chance to take a look. Now, I do know that we are currently working on trying to get international admission into the MBA program. So please stay tuned for that. The vast majority of our international graduates are in the they are in the professional science program. We also have our biology program as well. So just some to think about. So we are trying to make the MBA international admissible. So.
Thank you, Raiden, for that. And that is also why SEVISEase is here. So we are ready to support you throughout the journey. And even while on this webinar, we'll post the links to University of Wisconsin Oshkosh so that you can always go to their website to check and find out what you are interested in. And if you need any help, you can always reach out to SEVISEase and we'll be willing to support you throughout the process. Now, there is this positive comment, and I want to talk about that. Cookie says small class numbers sounds great. I was also very interested in that, and I think it's a great thing that you're doing. And someone says, are there any other opportunities as scholarships so long as there are no teaching assistant and graduate assistant opportunities? And I think you mentioned that too. You talked about all the funding opportunities available.
Yes. So I want to make it clear. So there are graduate assistantships available for our master's students, and many of our international students are on a graduate assistantship. So I wanted to make it clear that there are no teaching assistants, and the graduate assistants are not required to teach the courses. So for undergraduate students, they may be dissuaded that they don't get to be taught by their professor, but let me make it very clear, we do offer graduate assistantships. They vary from program to program. So the best way of learning about the graduate assistance programs is to find the graduate program that you're interested in and contact the graduate school to request information about that. But yes, there is graduate student funding available.
Okay, and while you were talking about programming, a question came in and David is asking, what of sports psychology?
We have we don't have technically sports psychology, but within our kinesiology program, we do have sports science and like coaching fitness. So we have programs within that program that are related to sports. And many of our students actually do take those courses. As I said before, we're a very big sports community. And so, for example, when I was a wrestler on campus, many of the athletic trainers who would take care of my body, whether it was icing my shoulder or taping my ankle after I hurt it or something like that, many of them were students in these programs, in the athletic training programs that are doing internships with our professional athletic trainers. So you're getting hands-on experience. So yes, we do have those types of sports science programs here.
Oh, great. All right, another person, Mark, wants to find out how would one be able to get such an opportunity to study while working? I think it's really about job opportunities on campus.
Absolutely. So most of our students do work, and so many of our international students actually work in the computer science or in the IT department because they're all computer science students. That there's a large group of those students, but then we also have international students working with events. We have international students working in food, in a lot of the technology jobs, across campus. So you have opportunities to work on campus to make money without having to require CPT. Now, if you did have an opportunity to get an internship, a paid internship, or a job, there are a few caveats to that. So first and foremost, you need to make sure that internship or part-time work is related to your major. So if it is related to your major and you're after your first year, then you can apply for curriculum practicum training or CPT. So you would work with my colleague Jeff, who is the ISS advisor, and he would be the one that would walk you through on how to do that. So to boil it down, there are plenty of work opportunities. I recommend trying to find an opportunity on campus so you don't have to worry about activating CPT, but there are opportunities to make money outside of the university so long as it is related to your major.
Okay, Raiden, I have a follow-up question to that.
Yes.
So does one need any background experience, the job that they're going to apply for on campus?
Most of the time, no. We're very lenient and very understanding that everybody is new to the adult world, and many of the students that apply for these jobs are freshly 18, right out of high school. So getting a job on campus can be it can be a lot easier than applying for a job off campus. And what also is really nice about getting that job on campus too is that they're very flexible with your class schedule, whereas off-campus jobs may not have that flexibility. So
Okay.
yes, the opportunities of getting an on-campus job are generally a lot higher.
Okay. I'm going to read these two questions so that you can have the time to answer both.
Okay.
Akia is asking, are there business-related courses for masters like MSc Accountancy or Business Analytics? And Robert wants to know if there is a PhD program in clinical psychology.
So I will make it. I'll answer the second one first. We do not have a PhD program in clinical psychology. We only have one doctoral program because we're a primarily undergraduate institution. The doctoral program is the Doctorate of Nursing program because we're a very well-known nursing university. In terms of business, I highly recommend checking out news on our business administration or MBA, Masters of Business Administration program as we open that up for international students soon. That would be the closest thing to a graduate program with business focus.
Okay, and for the graduate school, if you want to know if you accept GRE.
I would believe that GRE are accepted. I think we linked in the graduate school program the websites, and each program is specific in which requirements they have. So again, what I highly recommend doing if you're interested in graduate programs and what are required to get into specific graduate programs is once you find the program on our website, reach out to the faculty or reach out to the graduate school coordinators and see what exactly it is that they require for that for their admissions, because each program has different admissions requirements versus undergraduate is very across the board.
That's excellent. So there's a question from Creative Solutions. I will advise that you reach out to SEVISEase. So it could be any of us right after. We'll share our email address in the comment section so you can reach out to us and we'll answer that. We'll help you and guide you through it all. Also, Mark wants to know that he says he's in the field of humanities, specifically political science and history. and completed undergrad, waiting for his certificate. Does he have the chance to apply while waiting for
Yeah,
his certificate?
absolutely. Like if you're currently in a program right now that you're finishing, many of our transfer students apply while they're finishing up their semester or term. So absolutely, yes.
Okay. And Emmanuel want to know, is a 3-year BSc nursing from Ghana eligible in your health related courses in masters and PhD? But this I can help you answer. Please check out their websites for more information on that and reach out to SEVISEase and we'll guide you through the process. So we also have Jeremiah asking, is SAT compulsory for undergraduates application? I think you answered that too, that it is not required.
Nope, it is not required.
Okay. Do you have a scholarship for first class students with a good GPA, like 3.95? I think you answered that.
Absolutely. So that would be the top tier of the Titan Global Scholarship. That would get you that 100% non-resident tuition remission. So you would be paying in-state tuition.
All right. And Emmanuel is asking again, what is the deadline for application?
So for fall 2026, which starts in September 2026, it is 15 July 2026.
Is it the same for graduate school?
No, those are different. So again, I would recommend reaching out to the different programs.
Okay. So I can see that most of the questions here are related to graduate programs. Please, we have shared the link in the chat session. You can always visit the chats and go and make inquiries on the website. Also reach out to SEVISEase. I think I can see that our email address has been shared in the comment section, so you can reach out to any of us and we'll be available to assist you with all the questions that
And
you have.
if I could just add one thing too. So I did see a comment relating to, not seeing graduate programs that I mentioned offered on the website. So again, we're primarily an undergraduate institution. I will be completely honest, and majority of all of the programs that I talked about are the undergraduate programs. Those are the ones that I have experience in, and those are the ones that I am primarily promoting. However, if you do find a graduate program on our website for whatever you're interested in, and international students are eligible for an F1 visa in that program, we would love to have you here.
Okay, there is one question here that I would want you to answer. Someone says that when he submits WES copy, does he have to do it by himself, or there will have to be a request?
So you would need to request Wes to submit that on your behalf, because then if you were to get your Wes copy and send it directly to me, it would be considered unofficial, and we cannot take unofficial evaluation. So you would just need to request Wes to send it directly to us, and then we would take care of the rest.
Okay, I can see another question about graduate programs. Please, anything related to graduate programs, we are available to assist you. So please check out our email address in the comment section. That is support@sevisease.us. Support@SEVISEase, and SEVISEase is SEVISEASE.us. Please contact us and we'll be willing to help you through it all. And I want to round it up with this last comment from Emmanuel, who says that see you at Wisconsin.
I know, I saw that. That makes me so excited.
Oh, yeah.
We would love to have you here. And I do see a question by Anna about asking to pay for an application fee. I just want to point out again and that we do not have an application fee. The application is 100% free for undergraduate applicants. So any questions regarding the graduate programs, though, again, please reach out to our graduate program coordinators, and they'd be happy to help you.
Thank you very much, Radin, once again for the insight you've shared with us today. And most importantly, to you, our attendees, for your active participation. I can see we have just about 3 minutes to go, which means you are right on time. And we are so grateful that you made the time for this. But as you take your next steps towards studying in the US, remember that SEVISEase is here to support you with every step. We want the University of Wisconsin to also know that your prospective students can arrive prepared, settled, and ready because we've got them, and we are dedicated to making the student journey stress free for each and everyone, both institutions and the students who will attend. We encourage you to stay connected with us, especially with our attendants, our attendees, and explore our resources on our website www.serviceease.us www.serviceease.us. The link has been posted in the chat. It will be posted again. And reach out if you would like help shaping your own application. And please watch out for our next webinar session. Thank you to my colleagues Solomon and Ransford and to Raiden. We are so grateful that you made the time for this. And thank you very much to everyone. We are so grateful. And see you again at our next webinar. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.